welcome to a very special edition of Beer Bros and BS. Welcome back, Tony, from his Peruvian Incan adventure.
Thanks, guys. Glad to be back.
As always, I'm joined with...
I'm Dan.
Jose.
JJ the Mel Chef.
And as always, we have some pretty good beers for you guys tonight. Tony, why don't you go ahead and tell us what we have?
All right. As mentioned last week, I just recently went to Peru on vacation. Went to visit Machu Picchu and went around the country a bit. And I actually brought back a couple of craft beers from Peru for this episode. So, first of all, we have Sierra Andina Shaman IPA, or Shaman IPA, from Huaraz, Peru. We've also got Cumbres Cerveza Artesanal. Maracumanto is the name. And in addition to those, we've also got Ninkasi Brewing Company's Ground Control. We've got 6 Point Brewery's Four Beans. And we've got Stone Brewing's Vertical Epic 12-12-12.
And you actually brought the first beer that we're going to have tonight. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so beer number 1 for tonight. It's Sierra Andina Shaman IPA, or Shaman IPA. And it's a West Coast style IPA, brewed in Huaraz, Peru. And so it's a California style, West Coast style IPA. And it says it's a dry hopped beer, which give you flavors of pineapple, mango, grapefruit, and passion fruit. And it's 8% alcohol by volume.
You don't really taste that 8%, I think.
Yeah, not at all, man. It comes off way lighter in flavor. And yeah, enjoy it. It's pretty good.
What do you think, Jose?
I don't know if that's the malty backbone or it's just the passion fruit part, because it kind of has like that grainy, but I'm not sure if that's just grain or just passion fruit.
Yeah, I get the mango aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by the overall the quality of the craft beer that I had in Peru. They're kind of like going through like the start of their like craft beer revolution now, or their craft beer movement, I should say. And mostly what I had was like pretty solid and quite good, better than I expected.
Okay, so as always, we always have some interesting topics and I guess you'd call it bullshit to talk about. Tonight, let's start with Dan. What'd you bring for us?
Well, I got some random bullshit. Basically just, I found out today, or hashtag TIL, that, back in the historical days, the word outlaw actually had a slightly different definition than you might think it means. Back then, it actually meant that, this guy was, any criminal that was considered an outlaw was, outside of the law. They had no legal rights or protections, so therefore anybody could legally kill them, rob them, do whatever they wanted, and they were such a bad person, such a criminal, that they were outside of the law, like nobody would even care. So I just thought that was pretty cool. And eventually it kind of changed its meaning over time. I just thought that original definition was pretty interesting, and apparently that was going on, in the what is this, in like Germanic times in Europe and whatnot, and so I just thought it was pretty interesting. I don't know, man. What do you guys think about that?
Would they be a smooth criminal?
I mean, maybe if they survived long enough, if they were bad enough.
And well, I figured, what's that
guess
beer we just had? Was that the Shimon IPA?
I guess they were wanted dead or alive.
I thought we were sticking with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, dude, you can't go from Michael Jackson to Bon Jovi.
We went from MJ to BJ.
Jose just beat it.
Well, at least he got it right by saying dead or alive. I mean, he's dead, so.
Jose, are you
well,
okay?
He'd either be dead or alive.
Are you okay?
Well, this is true.
Are you okay, Jose?
I am okay.
He was hit by. He was struck by.
A smooth criminal. There's bloodstains on the carpet.
Oh! All right, let's move on, guys. So
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
ABC.
You just gotta look at the man in the mirror.
Do re mi?
All right, enough.
So anyways, yeah, I just, I got a kick out of, seeing kind of how the definition of a word like that can change over time. Not a lot of people know I'm kind of into the whole, language thing in general. I consider myself.
Etymology.
Yeah, I consider myself a cunning linguist.
Yeah, I knew that was.
Yeah, no, but whatever. I don't know. What do you guys think? Can you think of any other examples of where something like that might have happened, in the past or anything like
Well,
that?
technically,
No, but you're a cunning linguist, so could you tell us?
I could show you better.
So Jose, how about giving us an example? No.
guys, this is.
I guess you have to be explicit
Yeah.
with your directions.
A bunch of cunning linguistics on
Yeah.
Beer Bros BS. Everybody.
Yeah.
Multi-talented tongues. I speak many tongues.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
we are only on our first beer of the night.
I think this may be the fastest we've gone from like an actual topic to just complete
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
my tongue is tied to one person.
Anyway, guys.
Hey, bad meant cool for a while. So
That's true. I'll
there
give
you
that,
go,
man.
So stick with them.
Wait, what are
Jay.
you talking about? Bad means cool now?
Well, it used to. I think bad's back to being bad. I don't know.
Unless you follow it with bitch.
That's true.
Because,
Well, that-
if you call a woman a bitch, it's a bad thing. But if you call her a bad bitch, then she's like, oh shit, okay.
They love it.
I'm a bad bitch.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
thought that just meant you're a badass.
Where is this all true?
where is this all true? Like
on the internet?
everywhere, man.
Everything you read on the internet
Yeah.
is true.
Like in the club and on the streets.
Which streets specifically?
The rough streets of Kendall. And
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those mean street posses out there.
From Greenwich, Connecticut.
Anyway, guys, so
Jose, what'd you bring for us? What topic you brought for us tonight?
The bomb for a news story this week is Ashley Madison. For all the married guys that were on there, sorry. You're
What if-
pretty much fucked.
Now, my question about this whole thing is, before you get into it, what if you were just trying to look for married women? What if you weren't married at all? Maybe that's just your thing, married women.
that's true.
I don't know. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think to sign up, you have to be married yourself.
Yeah,
What, do you
but
need a
they're-
copy of your marriage certificate?
Well, I don't know.
No,
man.
I don't.
But
Just anyone who.
is it just anybody, or is it like a swingers thing that you have to sign up as a couple? I don't know.
No,
That's just
No,
had
'cause
the
it's-
that's the
advertising
reason
for it.
it's so
Yeah, that's why it's-
fucked up.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, the
I
idea.
thought it's not like swinging. Okay, it's different.
So,
That's what
the-
fling is for.
the story is that the website was hacked, right? And all the
Yeah, all the user emails were leaked along with how much they spent and their user accounts and whatnot. Cheaters! And there's now hundreds of emails now out there, and it's oh look, all these emails.
all of the emails too. It's not just who was on it, but
It's all the emails, who was on it, how much they spent.
guys, I'll be right back. I have to do some damage control.
Yeah, good luck.
I didn't know you're married, Tony.
There's a
Why
lot
do you think he went back to Peru?
There's a lot you guys don't know about me.
Double life.
You think I tell you everything? No.
He's got a secret.
Yeah, over there, he's Antonio Cenita.
Wow.
Señeta.
Here, secret huts on top of.
No, but I mean,
First of all, let me state for the record that I don't have alpaca herpes or anything that you guys were saying.
You ate monkey brains. Admit it. You ate
admit
monkey
it,
brains.
an alpaca took you to court.
You don't have it, or you don't have it again.
Let's just say at this moment, I don't have it.
It's under control.
Yeah, but so no monkey brains, sadly. I did look, but I didn't go to the jungle part of the country. But I did eat alpaca, which tastes like beef. I ate guinea pig.
What noise did they make before you killed it?
No, I mean I don't kill them myself. I went to restaurants and yeah. I guess I'll talk more about Peru when it gets to be my turn. So
Cool.
So one of the things I heard about that Ashley Madison is that there were 30% of the customers of that website were from Toronto.
Really?
Or maybe I'm not hearing it correct. It was maybe 30% of Toronto's population was on that website.
That is insane, man.
So they said, it was 1 out of 3 people in Toronto were on that website.
Wow.
So what does that tell you about our Canadian brethren?
They a bunch of hoes.
Like, well,
Toronto's.
Torontonians? Torontons?
Well,
Torontites?
Toronto sources?
to run around.
What would be the
Ronda Rousey?
Blue Jays?
demonym for our
Canadians.
friends from Toronto?
Instead of Canucks, they're Cafucks.
That's kind of harsh.
Yeah, come on, Dan.
If you're listening in Canada, feel free to tweet back to me and bitch me out. I'm at Dan12Con, or you could write to at BeerBrosBS.
Okay.
But if you don't write back, then-
Hashtag fucking Dan.
Yeah. Also, hashtag Cafucks.
Okay, it's Torontonian.
Torontonian.
Or Torontoian.
So if you were to ever move there, you'd be Tony Torontonian.
That'd be Torontonian Tony.
Sounds like a Game of Thrones character.
But some of those accounts might be just consensual. I mean, they just might be into swinging.
This is true?
I would say the vast majority are probably not that open.
Nope.
And I just like how the one married member of this entourage brought up the topic.
Well, of course.
Dun.
Everything's so good between you guys?
Yeah, of course.
He's trying to get ahead of it before it becomes a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You heard it here now. Jose has an announcement to make.
This might be his last episode. Thanks, Jose.
His last episode on this earth.
Hey, yeah, okay, so you don't want to mention anything?
No.
Everything's good?
Yeah, everything's good.
Do you have alpaca?
He's already walking out the door. Where's he going? Jose, come back.
Hashtag alpaca herpes.
Yeah, Tony, your neck's looking a little longer than usual.
It's okay.
have no
I
comment.
already paid my $3,000 to a Nigerian. He said he would take my name off the emails database.
So
No, actually, that's been happening. What's been happening is that they've been getting scam emails saying that they would take their name off the database if you give them X amount of money, and people have actually been putting up money. It's hilarious.
Jose, why don't you talk about the beer you brought?
Okay, let's talk about the beer we brought. Actually, me and Dan actually coincided by accident on this one.
Yeah, we originally brought the same bottle, but then we wound up, switching it up, and it's all good. We don't want to bore you listeners with all those details, so we're going to give you fresh beer reviews each time, no repeats ever. So, Jose, go ahead.
All right, the Ninkasi Brewing, it's by Ninkasi Brewing Company. It's the Ground Control Imperial Stout. This was brewed with hazelnuts, star anise, and cocoa nibs, and they were sent into space and back. So this is space beer.
Space beer.
Exactly.
Is it cocoa nibs or cacao nibs?
I don't know.
It says cocoa nibs.
Cocoa.
In space, you don't know what pronunciation it has.
In space,
space-
vowel
In
order
space,
does not
nobody can
Can hear
you
your
say it.
pronunciation. Thank you.
Also, dude, this beer is out of this world.
Again,
This beer is stellar.
what was
This beer is extra.
So yes, this is the
terrestrial.
continuation of the space puns. That we
It's
had
very
earlier.
dark.
How does it compare with Uranus that we had the other week?
They're both dark. Reminds me of a black hole.
This one's a little sweeter.
It's pitch black.
Sweeter than Uranus. You don't say.
A little less nutty.
Yeah, it
Doesn't taste like pennies.
it doesn't make me pucker.
No, it's really good.
Enjoy it.
Fucker.
But yeah, it's very enjoyable. It does taste like outer space. Because I've been there.
Okay, let's talk about that then.
Intergalactic.
You've been to outer space.
He's from there originally.
Yeah, I've taken my fair share of drugs.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
So I guess.
So you went to
I guess
college, I see.
you said you've taken uppers then.
No way.
Oh yeah.
To the moon!
So
then
you're a
Uranus.
cosmonaut now? I'm still waiting to hear like how you got into space.
I did this exchange program with the Russians, and they sent me into space
space.
with some space monkeys.
I heard that
No,
they
it's
try
space
to.
dogs.
I heard that they're trying to go to the sun, but they don't know when they can make it over there, so they're planning on going at night.
We will go
Was it
in
North
winter.
Korea that actually announced that they actually went to the sun on the national news station.
Oh,
amazing.
dude. Kim Jong number 1. No, never mind. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
No, yeah, the beer is pretty sweet. In a good way. It's pretty good actually. But I don't know how much the actual spaciness of it would actually impart on the beer. It's just.
I don't think any.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, right? Like,
it's just. It would have been cool if it had a different flavor profile and it would have been like, oh my god, we have to send shit into space. I mean, Hanapu space. Or,
Yeah, it'd be cool if, like,
Well, but all you would have to do is just put it into a vacuum.
Space yeast.
that's what I was gonna say.
I mean, you could do that here in a lab. And
well, the thing is that since there's no gravity, there wouldn't be the yeast wouldn't fall down or on top. It would just be floating around the middle all the time.
And everything would clump together.
Yeah, it wouldn't clump together.
was it
would just-
made in space or was the ingredients?
No. Oh, actually.
Because once
There's
you
a
bring
big
it back
difference.
down, once you bring it back down, then wouldn't it just come back to how it would have been?
Actually,
what
I'm
I
not
read,
sure
I
right
think
now.
I read that it was the yeast strains that were sent into space.
Oh, okay. So they just
And were
brought
they
back
just
this.
were they just sent into space? Like it kind of rode around in the space shuttle, dropped back in a capsule, and so we drank something.
I don't know. It'd be cool if they just sent it out, like, by
Yeah.
itself on a probe or something.
No, just like fermented in the International Space Station. And just
Oh, okay.
let's see what happens.
I don't know. Let some of the cosmic rays hit that shit.
Is this gonna?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like this radioactive. Is there a higher toxicity to this?
yeah, like I wonder if beer actually can be brewed in space, or if they just sent the yeast, brought it back, and then brewed the beer with that yeast.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, there's no way they could have actually brewed the beer in space.
How do you know?
I'm pretty sure you could.
I don't
You have to heat up water. You can water heater.
Yeah, you just have to all the CO2 that it generates. You would just
Yeah.
have to escape it out of the capsule because you don't want all that CO2 inside your ship.
I mean, they've managed to turn urine into drinkable water.
Yeah.
You don't think they could brew beer?
Yeah, fair enough.
That's true.
But that first beer that they're going to brew on the moon or Mars,
The Crater Brewing Company.
yeah, something like that.
It has to be a red ale.
Red Rocks Brewing.
That probably exists, right?
Get your ass to Mars.
Red Rocks.
Ale.
Yeah.
They could make Red Dog.
It's back.
Or Red Hook.
They sent the dog from the Red Dog commercials in outer space with the beer ingredients.
Although unfortunately, it'll probably be something like, SpaceX Brewing or Virgin Galactic Brewing.
Well, they could use Galaxy hops.
Hey!
We've said that several times. That joke already, no?
Well,
Did we talk about space before?
remember, he has to cleanse his mind when he goes to his secret hut in Machu Picchu, so.
Hut or
Listen, every episode is a new episode. We don't repeat things.
Also,
Never.
quick question for you, Tony. Was there massage parlors in Peru?
Dun dun dun. Only the hard-hitting
find
questions.
find out next.
Actually, yes. And I did go to one.
Find out why and for how long next.
And what does llamas have to do with it?
So is that where the alpaca herpes came from? Oh, that explains it.
There's so many questions I'd want to ask. Like were there llamas there?
Let me just say.
Did that cure your altitude sickness?
It was quite helpful because after, a couple of days of hiking at, the high altitude of like 12,000 feet or however many meters, I don't know. Getting a massage for one's sore muscles is quite invigorating. And, definitely seemed to help prepare me for the following day's hike.
Did they help you unpack your bags?
No, alpaca my bags before I went to Peru.
Now, Llama asked you a question. I actually, before we continue on your Peruvian adventure, let's get over to JJ first. And what bullshit did you bring us?
Alright, today's bullshit is pretty freaking awesome. It is comes from the breaking news, which I'm sure pretty much everyone's heard out there. Very exciting for Star Wars fans. It came from Disney's D23 event that was this past week, and they announced at both parks, Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, and the one in Anaheim, they will be opening up Star Wars Land. And
Fuck yes.
yes, so it's going to be 14 acres at both parks, and it's gonna consist of 2 rides, only one of which they've named, but they didn't specify what it is. It will be that you fly the Millennium Falcon. There's gonna be
But don't you kind of already do that in Epcot?
On a top secret mission.
No, that's different than Star Tours. Like Tony had a good theory about this. He said it's gonna be similar to the Harry Potter one that they have at Universal, where you fly around and it's like on the track with the...
There's a Harry Potter world at Universal Studios?
Yes, Dave.
It's like it's magic or something.
Yeah. No, it is if you're there.
Such a muggle, Dave.
But anyway, so they're gonna have... Everything's gonna be themed to that, including a Mos Eisley Spaceport Cantina, complete with the Cantina band playing your favorite song over and over and over again. Exactly.
No droids allowed.
And there's no droids allowed, so it should be very awesome. So, I'm gonna ask you guys...
The funny thing is,
when the machines rise, they will sue, and they will win for discrimination.
but no one will understand them because they just go beep, 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 beep.
Not the other droids.
Shut up, Dave!
Not the protocol droids.
I have to say, we've been wanting the Mos Eisley Cantina to be a reality for I don't know how many years. We've talked about this, how cool it would be if they actually made it.
Yeah, I was always saying, like a Star Wars restaurant where each section, if anyone's ever been to Rainforest Cafe, something like that where you would have different rooms of different themes of Star Wars. One would be Hoth, one would be the Cantina, one would be Jabba's Palace. So
yeah, the Hoth one would be cool.
Very good, Dan.
I wonder if there's a bar fight in the cantina, would stormtroopers just take you out, escort you out of the bar?
That'd be amazing. I hope all the security is stormtroopers. But so what?
They take you to the detention level.
So
Or even the garbage smashers.
So what one feature would you guys like to see at the Star Wars theme park, Jose?
I mean, seriously, the stormtrooper security guards.
That's it? That's your main attraction to going to this?
That's where you want to go. You want to see someone get dragged out.
Yeah, he wants to get kicked out, apparently.
You could just go to any pop culture convention, and that can happen for you.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, you can have them just say, like, you can just say, hey, can you take a picture? The first one I ever went to, I went with my friend Eddie, and we ended up getting a picture in front of this Mos Eisley building front, and there were stormtroopers, people cosplayers as stormtroopers, and they ended up just posing for pictures. And I said, hey, if my friend got on his knees and put his hands behind his back, could you point your guns at him? And they said, absolutely. And next thing we know, all the people there are taking pictures in that pose. You're down on your knees, your hands behind your head, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
So you could go there and just say, hey, can you pretend to drag me out? 501st Legion, which is at every single convention ever, anywhere, at least all the ones I've been to in this state, they're always there. And you can, I'm sure you ask them and they'll oblige you for that. I want to say even one time there, they had a fundraiser and they had these Nerf guns and you could shoot stormtroopers with Nerf guns.
I do remember that.
And I paid $20 and I shot them for 20 minutes with automatic Nerf rifles. And it was the guy got to the point where the guy would extend his arm out over his head to see if I could shoot his hand. And the first time I was like, oh, you want me to shoot that? I remember I ended up shooting his cod piece. If you're familiar with what that would be.
Yeah.
And he took it and it got stuck. He took it and he threw it back at me. And I was like, I'm going to reload that. I'm going to shoot it again. And then I kept shooting his hand. He was like, oh, you're pretty good. I was like, that's all for charity. Yeah, thanks.
Dan? What do you want to see at Star Wars Land?
Man, the whole thing sounds pretty awesome. I don't know. I'm excited to see what kind of rides they'll do. Obviously, you gotta have the flying through space aspect with the Falcon and all that.
Oh, our rumored one is a roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. I don't know. I would like to see something that incorporates slave Leia outfits.
Yes. Slave Leia strip club, like the Jabba the Hutt strip club.
Somehow,
Damn it.
I don't think Disney's gonna.
Can you
let
wait
that
till it's
happen.
my turn?
How about you, Dave?
Well, instead of saying what I'd like to see there, let me ask you, I have a question for you guys about this. What do you think is the better fictional bar? The Cantina from Mos Eisley or Moe's Tavern?
I mean, it's totally different, man. I don't know.
One is but they're going to have the Cantina at Disney World. You can already go to Moe's Tavern and Universal, just miles apart.
Oh, okay. Well, then I would go to Star Wars Cantina
Why?
because I like Star Wars more than Simpsons.
You can get a Flaming Moe though.
That's great. Well, I don't know what they have at the Star Wars Cantina yet. They might have a cool,
They have death
alien
sticks.
drinks.
They never show the drinks though, and the death sticks. They don't actually sell that there because they made all the dealers rethink their lives. So
They'll have some sort of blue milk that gets you drunk.
who says it gets you drunk?
Oh,
It's a desert.
There might be some imperial stouts.
So what about you, Tony?
very good.
Yeah, Jose kind of rained on my parade a little bit. I was thinking of like the various Star Wars video games that are out. They always have a strip club with Twi'lek dancers. That's
Oh, yeah, that's
what
right.
I want to see. Because I'm a dirty bastard.
What is it about Twi'leks that gets you excited?
The half nakedness of the women.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see that from Earthlink.
Also the head tails.
That's the head tails.
Ah, yeah.
The head tails are very hot.
Would you be interested in mermaids?
Yeah, I guess so. Like Ariel's pretty hot.
Yeah, but I never understood where their lady parts would be then.
Her
They don't,
mouth.
they don't have legs.
But she does have
Safe,
a mouth.
uh,
And she
they-
does have a good throat.
But they do have mouths. So exactly. Heyo.
You didn't flounder that question.
He was talking about her singing.
That's the clamshells.
I just want to state
And
again.
eventually goes real deep.
I just want to state
Under the sea.
that Beer Bros and BS does support the gingers. We love you, gingies.
Yes, and we don't mean to offend any mermaids.
Or mermen.
Exactly.
So let me tell you what I brought for this week. Read an article in
An articue?
in GQ.
Ah,
That's where I was going. I was already just combining words.
that was like an article about barbecue.
No, it was an article in GQ, which works. And it was about which is better. Everyone's been talking about it, LeBron James or Michael Jordan. So let me ask you guys just pretty quickly. Who do you think is, who would win in a one-on-one?
Both in their prime.
Yeah.
Both in their prime, one-on-one, Michael Jordan would destroy LeBron James.
Jose.
MJ.
LeBron.
One-on-one, I might have to say LeBron as well. But it's hard to say. It really is.
I would go with LeBron as well because he's bigger.
Exactly.
He's the height and weight of Karl Malone. Yet he can move as quick as Michael Jordan. He can make the same shots. So there's no way that, he could just drive in and just shack him up. He just keep driving in and pushing it back and just make layup after layup. And since he's bigger, he's taller and I don't know if he can jump higher, but with a longer wingspan, he can block.
Yeah, it's at like
It makes that.
Jordan wouldn't really be able to defend.
Yeah, on one-on-one, the main thing you go to is your post game, and he would be able to back down Jordan like nothing.
So, I mean, there's no consensus here
But
for that.
who's the better player?
No, it's just one-on-one. So then let me ask you, this is what some of the other people have said. When Jordan asked, what do you guys think Jordan said? Who would win in a one-on-one?
Jordan. Like Jordan would.
What
when
the
they
Jordan
asked Jordan
said?
if he would win or LeBron would win?
Yeah.
I think Jordan would say himself.
Yeah, he would say himself, Jordan.
Jose?
Actually, I don't think he's that type of person. I think he would get credit to LeBron. I think LeBron.
Did he actually pick one or the
Yes,
other?
he did.
Or was he like, oh man, I don't know.
He picked, yeah.
Shit. He would probably say himself.
We were all correct. I also thought he'd pick himself. Jose, you are incorrect. Jordan said that he would, of course, beat him one-on-one. Now let me ask you this. Who do you think Shaq said would win one-on-one?
Between these same two?
Yeah.
Shaq would probably say LeBron.
Jose?
I guess MJ because I don't know, he never really played with LeBron or against LeBron, I believe. No? Did he?
Towards the end, they might have played against each other in a game or two, but
towards the end, yeah, he did.
because he was playing,
I think when
he retired in the 90s.
when Jordan was on the Wizards.
Wizards,
maybe,
yeah,
against
that's what I
Shaq.
was thinking.
Yeah.
JJ, who do you think Shaq said would win?
Did he actually pick either?
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did?
All these people picked.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say he probably said himself or Wilt Chamberlain or some shit.
No, who would win one-on-one?
I think I'll be Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, exactly. I always like the big man. I say he said LeBron.
I'll guess Jordan still.
And Shaq said MJ would win. Now, after all this, they asked LeBron. Now, who do you think LeBron said would win in a one-on-one, either him or MJ?
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan.
Just dick. No, he probably said himself.
And I thought he would have said MJ as well, and MJ, he said. So, kind of odd that, I mean, maybe he's humble.
Yeah,
Obviously.
LeBron's not, he's image savvy enough to know not to say, yeah, I'd beat Jordan.
Yeah, and
Whereas Jordan,
Whether he thinks it or not.
whereas Jordan on the other side is like, no, fuck you all. I am the greatest at all time of everything.
yeah, LeBron still wears 23 in honor to Michael Jordan. So, and he didn't wear it when he came to the Heat because the numbers retired in Miami.
Because Miami.
Yeah.
Because Miami, who
The
he
only
never played
place
for.
besides Chicago where that number is retired, by the way.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But don't forget that the Miami Heat also retired Dan Marino's 13
Yep. Also,
because they wanted to curse themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, you have a big 13 hung up in your arena. I
A
mean,
Dolphins 13.
Yeah, that cursed both of those
I was-
franchises.
it's
Well,
supposed to be like,
it didn't curse the Heat. We won 3 championships.
Well, did they put it up
And-
after that or no?
No,
No,
they
that
did.
was before.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
they
before.
did. Yeah, they did the
But
before
still-
Shaq even came here.
I mean, but this is, would you say that's the biggest tease ever? To get that kind of a team and be like, we're gonna win how many championships over how many years? And then as soon as your contract's up, like, this is fun. I just kind of want to go home.
Yeah,
It's a tease.
yeah. I'd still take it. It was fun. We had a good time. Lots of cigars were smoked.
yeah.
So,
like
and how to
Bill
prove-
Simmons, he came up with the rule that if your team wins the championship, you're not allowed to complain for 5 years after that. And I agree with that. So it's still, with
So we can start complaining about the Dolphins already?
Dolphins, yeah,
Yeah.
but not the Heat.
Can't complain.
is that a different rule? The fact that, the last time, well, not the last time you won, but the fact that you won, you've done something that no other team has ever done in football? You got that kind of,
Yeah, because
the way they won?
they still got that card. No one's done it
Yeah,
since the Dolphins.
The whole undefeated season. That's true.
You came close, Tom Brady,
Well-
but you didn't do it.
So let me ask you guys this. then.
deflated the football when you were going to do that.
So who do you think would win one-on-one in 2K15?
Oh, LeBron, obviously, because younger guy probably is going to know how to play video games better.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, LeBron. Michael Jordan probably doesn't even own an Xbox or a PlayStation.
But he probably does own a Sega Genesis with LeBron versus Bird.
And the Space Jam game.
So wait, you're saying like the players in the game playing against each other, or
No, them playing against each other.
Each other.
them with using controllers playing
Yeah.
against each other? Okay, I think LeBron.
Yeah, the generational difference. I think
Yeah.
we're all in agreement there. Now, who would win one-on-one in acting? We've seen LeBron act now. Everyone has definitely seen Space Jam, I believe.
Yes. I
So what do you
believe I
guys-
can fly.
Is that who you think would win one-on-one in acting?
No, actually,
Jose, what do you think?
LeBron. I think LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron. Did anyone see Jordan on SNL way back in the day? He sucked. He was one of the worst sports guests ever.
Be careful, because he does have a Hitler mustache, and
Those Hanes commercials, man?
Yeah,
Oh.
you seen how he murders the talking underwear? That's
Yeah, yeah,
like
rips
cold-blooded murder.
Yeah, ripped the
Rip
fucking
that thing
tag.
off.
No,
throw it
wait,
in-
Tony. Wrong sports.
What?
He'd murdered the underwear. Wrong sport.
Oh. No. What? Carry on, my wayward son.
Yeah, man. No, LeBron's a way funnier, more charismatic dude. He's done some funny stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, like his part in Trainwreck, like he would.
he was funny as hell.
Yeah, he was like one of the funniest parts of that movie.
Yeah, he was good on SNL too.
Okay, so before we get to Tony's Peruvian adventure, we're actually on our third beer of the night. And who brought this one?
So this is the other beer from Peru that I brought. This is from Cumbres, which is from Lima, and this beer is called Maracumanto, which is sort of a portmanteau of maracuya and aguaimanto. Maracuya is passion fruit, and aguaimanto is another Peruvian fruit, which is kind of like a tomato, like a cherry tomato, which is tart, like a lime, I guess. And this is like a pale ale brewed with those fruits. So let's check it out, guys.
I think you can definitely taste the passion fruit in it. It reminds me similar to the style of beer that you'd have at the Miami Brewing Company down here in Homestead. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good, man. Like what you were saying, it does kind of have the style like the Schnebli's Miami Brewing would have. They're known for using a lot of fruit and vegetable infusions and whatnot. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's interesting. I can't really think of too much else that really tastes like this. So I mean, it's not bad, but it's not jumping out at me as being great. It's just very different. So I'm still kind of like, I don't know if I like it or not.
Yeah, I'm with Dan on that. It's interesting.
Yeah, it has kind of honey-like property to it.
Yeah, the sweetness is what's kind of thrown me off.
It's like honey, but I know there's no honey on this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the sweetness from it is kind of it makes it hard to pick up some of the other stuff that's in it. I don't get passion fruit like Dave does.
What about you, Tony?
I mean, I do get it a little bit, and I do get the tartness from the aguaimanto a little bit, but I wish it was a little bit more present for both of them. Apart from that, it's kind of just like a standard pale ale.
It's not bad. I mean, it's different.
Right? It's solid. I think I had like higher
If
hopes
that's the
for it,
beer
but-
that they have in Peru, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So this is safe to say that this is the first Peruvian beer we've had on the show. These two.
Yeah.
These two, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's actually the second, but yeah. I agree with JJ. It does have a sort of honeyish, like agave kind of flavor.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. It's interesting. Like it's growing on me, I think.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little more? You can explain what you were doing in Peru, how many brothels, massage parlors.
Llamas
Happy
that
endings.
you do.
Llama happy ending.
A lappy ending.
How many monkeys died for your breakfast?
So I like to, probably the only thing I enjoy more than drinking beers is traveling to other countries. And so this was one of my big trips for the year was to go to Peru because I wanted to check out Machu Picchu, one of the new seven wonders of the world. Started out in the capital, Lima.
How new is that?
I don't know. They came up with a new list.
Like what, 2012?
2000. I want to say like maybe 2000.
I was being sarcastic when I said that.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought that's...
Google it, man. I don't
Fucking
know.
Dave.
So the new seven wonders are Machu Picchu, Cristo Redentor in Rio, Chichen Itza in Mexico, the Taj Mahal in India, Petra in Jordan, the Great Wall of China, and
Okay, you're right. And to find the last one, you just have to watch An Idiot Abroad,
Mhm. Also a very funny show.
which first season is all those places.
And the seventh one, which I can't think of right now.
Uranus.
Find out on another adventure of An Idiot Abroad.
It's not the Great Pyramid?
Giza.
That's I think that one is like the honorary member of the
I thought that was the ancient.
Yeah,
ancient
the
one.
Hanging Gardens of Babylon
one
or
of the
something like
ancient
that.
ones, yeah. Colossus of
Rhodes.
Rhodes. and
Oh,
some other
okay.
ones. Damn it! What am I forgetting? I'm
The
forgetting one.
Pantheon.
The Colosseum is the other one. So, but anyway, so wanted to go see Machu Picchu, which, in case anyone doesn't know, it's a lost city of the Incas, the Inca people from Peru.
But it's found.
It is now found.
Okay.
So the found city of Peru.
the former
Okay. Was this found in the 2000s as well?
the 1900s, 19 something or other.
1999.
Damn it, Dave!
There's like 100 years in there. You could give me a better answer than the 1900s.
It's 1950, give or take 50 years. So
I'm gonna look that up now. Not this minute, but after the show.
anyway, very famous tourist destination in Peru. You can go visit. It's very picturesque. It's and it's a really cool place to see. But so started out in Lima, which is the capital city. Lima is.
You mean Lima, like the bean?
I mean Lima, but if you want, you can pronounce it Lima. You won't sound stupid or anything.
You call it Lima beans?
What's our place, Dave?
The other big city?
Yeah.
You mean couscous? I had this conversation with a coworker of mine that's from Peru, and he's like, "No, it's pronounced Cusco." And I was like, "No, yeah, but in English it's couscous." And he's like, "I don't think so. It's the same name in every city. You know, the names don't change." And I was like, "It doesn't. So what do you call Germany in Spanish?" He's like, "Alemania." He's like, "Is that what they call Germany in Germany?" And he's like, and he looks at me like, "I don't know." It's like, "No, it's called Deutschland." He's like, "Oh, so it's called so Lima is called Lima in English." And I'm thinking like I had, the devil pops up and the angel pops up. It's like, the devil's like, "Just do it, David. Just let him think this." And then the angel is like, "Well,
tell him."
well, he did kind of make a joke about you the other day, so just give it to him."
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then another devil came up and sucker punched the fucking angel.
So now it's smooth sailing.
Sailins. Bong!
So I maintain that Cusco is pronounced couscous and Lima is pronounced Lima, which is ironically where the beans do come from. They were harvested in pre-colonial,
In Lima,
sorrow.
Peru.
yeah, pre-Spanish colonial Peru.
So I'm going to go with the Spanish pronunciation, Lima. So that's
Feel free.
Okay, so that's
Just know that our non-Spanish speaking friends can also call it Lima.
if they are so inclined. So Lima, capital city. It's a very large, sprawling place, very humid. Home to probably the most insane traffic that I have seen. It makes driving in Miami look like...
No, shut up.
Like
Worst in Miami.
Yes.
Were there like llamas walking the street as you were driving?
No llamas, but you'll routinely see like 6 lanes illegally merging into one at just like a constant pace while pedestrians try to dodge through it within an inch of their lives. I don't know how there's not like an accident every 2 seconds. in
Sounds
that
like
place.
the traffic in Bogota, Colombia, too.
Maybe I've not been there, but it's insane. I was just in awe at how people can get around without like crashing.
There's a lot of trafficking going on in Bogota.
Hey-o!
Heyo!
We love your Colombian friends.
But started out in Lima. Lima is a very good like culinary city. Lots of like cool places to eat. Great Peruvian food. One thing that I saw, which was kind of funny, was that Peruvians love chicken. There's like lots of like pollo a la brasa type places, grilled chicken places where they got like chickens roasting on rotisserie and you can get it like grilled or fried or whatever. And in that vein, in Lima you see a very relatively high concentration of Popeye's chicken restaurants.
Wow.
Which is not something you'd expect to
No
find.
pollo tropicals?
To find in South America. No pollo tropical, but yes, you see Popeye's Louisiana chicken joints throughout Lima, along with KFC.
I was going to say KFC.
which is pretty funny.
I think KFC is actually one of the most popular fast food places worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like McDonald's and KFC is like right up there.
Well, it's known worldwide because of the U.S. military, and they all know that they should eat the Colonel's chicken, just because. If not, the U.S. military will come down on you. And that was a joke that no one got.
I get it.
Because Colonel.
Colonel
Okay.
Sanders.
Which is another new
I'll be
Colonel
reckoning.
in the commercials.
That's true.
I'll be
It's your boy. It's Norm.
That's
McDonald.
right, Private.
That's
Chew on
right.
this drumstick.
Which is weird. I guess, like, I don't know if, like, Daryl Hammond got, like, pissed off or at KFC or what happened that they had to change it to Norm Macdonald, and he's all like, why'd they get some Hollywood actor to pretend to be the Colonel?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. I guess they have to wait a couple months and then they'll bring in Will Ferrell to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be the running gag. They're going to keep changing it.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it. It got people talking, didn't it? True.
Who's talking about the new character of Colonel Sanders?
We just were.
What?
General's fried
You mean that's
chicken.
not the real Colonel? He said he was.
Technicality.
Another funny thing about Peru is that they've got or at least about Lima, is they've got a lot of casinos there, and the word for slot machines is tragamonedas, which literally translated means coin swallowers. Which I think is hilarious that this is how they advertise the things. Like, come to our house of coin swallowers and throw your coins in.
It's awesome.
It is pretty honest, though. You have to say. They should just call them, like, money drains. I don't know.
Well, technically, yeah, it's just a money drain. Come play the money drain.
Pretty much. Anyway, so explored Lima. There's like, so Peru is like full of, it's like an archaeological treasure trove. Like for archaeologists, it's like heaven, I think, because there's so much, ancient people's artifacts and locations left over to see. There's one right in the middle of the city called Huacapuquiana, which is, like an ancient city that's like built out of mud bricks that you can go and check out. Also, like in the city center, there's like colonial churches and catacombs you can explore. So it's pretty fun. After that, we flew up to the mountains, to Cusco. And up there, so that's like a higher elevation area. And it takes a little while to get used to the altitude. But after we did that, explored a lot of like ancient Inca stuff, including some ruins called Pisac, which is like almost like a baby Machu Picchu. There's
Explain what's so funny.
What? I don't know. I find the name funny.
So
Can you say it again?
Pisac.
So let me ask you this: this baby Machu Picchu, was it found since it's a baby? Is it like smaller in size because it's a baby, or was it found more recent so it's younger?
Smaller in size. I don't remember whether the date compares as
So
younger
is it
than-
like
So you're all,
Machito?
Machu Picchu,
La picha. The machito.
and you are an expert on smaller things, right?
Was this in 1999?
Damn it, you guys.
Pisac.
So, all right. Well, if you liked the name of Pisac, the next ruin that we went to was called Ollantaytambo.
You have to say it like that.
It's more fun if you do. Ollantaytambo. And then there's another one called Moray, Moray,
Morelli?
which shockingly there were no eels to be found.
Oh, that was my question. Oh, really?
But after,
Maybe it's not called Moray then.
in English,
Moray.
exactly. That was what I was getting at there, Dave. By saying there's no eels.
No, maybe it's pronounced another way. And it's not like lima beans. Maybe it's pronounced Moray.
Maybe, Dave.
Morena.
I don't know what to tell you.
Pisac.
I want you to tell me more about your Peruvian massage parlor adventure.
Yes, when are you going to get to the massage
Did you
part?
did they massage your albondigas?
Was the massage? Was the massage parlor called the Baja Station?
I knew.
Was there a massage parlor called Machu Masachu?
Masachu Pichitu.
Machu Wipinchu.
Damn it, you guys.
Hey, where is Lake Titicaca, by the way?
It is in Peru.
Were you able to see that?
I didn't make it over there.
Damn, dude.
You didn't have enough coffee to get hyper enough to see it.
Or TP?
Or TV.
I would have done, like, anything to be able to see Lake Titicaca, just because that's, like, the greatest name of anything in the world ever.
Interesting thing about, I mean, not really that interesting, but TP in Peru is that nowhere are you allowed to flush it down the toilet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you've got to.
So there's just buckets full of shit paper in every bathroom?
That's
yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah, you got to
Fuck,
wipe
man,
it
that's
and like toss it
disgusting.
in the trash. Yeah,
Well-
which is like a little gross, but they're all like, "That's how it is."
So all the bathrooms smell like shit.
yeah,
So how do they
Another-
know that you do
A
that?
collection of shit.
the toilet will back up. That's how they know.
Well, you're not going to stay there.
Well, I'm going to scratch that off my list of places to go.
I guess the pipes are too small to take paper.
Or your poop.
And you are an expert on small pipes.
On small pipes that are too small for my gigantic cock. Yeah.
Pea socks. Pea sock.
So anyway.
Anyway, all this was really cool. Like, learned a lot about the Incas. For instance, did you guys know that the Incas were some of the first tattoo artists in the world?
Oh, really?
I thought that was the Hawaiians.
That's why they're called Incas.
Shut the fuck up.
Asshole.
It's called a joke. Or as they say in Peru, it's a yoke.
Es un chiste.
Okay.
You say cheesesteak?
Chiste.
Cheesesteak.
No,
Ooh, I want cheesesteak.
Wait a second.
or cheesecake.
Damn it. You guys are making me hungry.
You motorboat cheesecakes?
Sure, yeah. That's what I'll call them sometimes.
Alpaca cheesecakes.
Call them Machu Picchu's.
Why don't we take a short pause for beer number 4 here?
That sounds like a good idea. That's the one that I
Sure.
brought. That's the 6 Point Brewing 4 beans, not to be confused with 3 beans. This has an extra bean, which is the Madagascar vanilla bean. So that goes on top of their cocoa beans, coffee beans, and their very dark malt. It's 10% ABV, and this just came out. This is their newest version of the bean series. So what do you guys think?
Pretty good, man.
It's 10%.
It's a little spicy.
Yeah, I get that, like, roasty, smoky, spicy note they usually get on, like, peppers.
Yeah, it tastes like they
That's why I was looking at the
brewed this with
can.
peppers, yeah.
Did they?
I actually didn't read it. I just kind of looked through it. I was like,
No,
"Ugh."
because I was looking through
No.
it and I
No,
found
I didn't. I
peppers.
don't say anything about it.
No. There's no peppers in it. It's I
That's
guess
just the coffee, probably.
Yeah, it's the coffee beans that they use,
Yeah.
which you'll
They
pick
use
that up if you have the 3
Pepper
beans.
beans?
No, it's just the particular. It's like a very strong roast. So I don't know. It might be confused with the spice.
Yeah, they're really good, man.
But yeah, I think this is the best version of the bean series. The vanilla bean you get at the end, it's real nice. So it's a nice mix of the roasty and the chocolate. And
I heard
Everything.
the head brewer for this beer is Jack. Yeah.
Jack and the beans.
Beans.
Oh, you guys are catching on.
We're having some beans talk on this podcast.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't be a beanie.
Yeah, like I think this is really good. This beer, like I was a big fan of the 3 beans. That was one of my favorite beers from 6 Point, and this one with the addition of the vanilla, it really balances it out. Yeah, I like it. Nice and coffee vanilla-y goodness.
For me, it's hard to get past that spiciness. I just don't like
Yeah.
spicy beers for me, personally.
Oh, well, I do. But
But when you slosh it around your palate a little bit more, it disappears, which is kind of...
what I was surprised is that it's 10%. It doesn't taste like a 10%.
It definitely does not.
Yeah, it hides it very well.
It's very smooth and
Yeah, I agree. It does not have the bite that a 10% ABV brew would have. Maybe that's where some of that burn you're getting is coming from, and that's how they kind of cover it up.
Maybe.
I don't really know. It's good, man. I enjoy it a lot. I haven't tried that much 6 Point. Obviously 3 beans, resin, Bengali, all that shit. But I haven't had too much other ones. But Yeah, I've liked everything I've had, man. So I'm gonna keep checking them out.
Yeah, we should have someone from the show.
And I definitely
from there on the show at some point.
I definitely love the cans as a delivery system. And they always have the tall boy cans, which is pretty slick.
Yeah, I enjoy those as well.
That's cool. It's almost like drinking out of like a Red Bull can.
No, yeah, because
like an energy drink.
no, well, the whole point is that since it's like it's the radius on it is thinner, it's just like a tall can, and you get more surface area per the can, so you can cool it down even better.
Cool. To me, it's all
Science!
It's all about girth.
I just thought they did it like that so that you could drink and drive easier. Beer Bros being BS dudes not condone that, but I just thought, maybe they do that for that reason.
You almost said beer beans and BS.
But we are in Beantown tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
For Beantown.
yeah, the other thing that's cool about it, since it's the coffee stouts, it reminds me of the Starbucks ones that have it in the.
Yeah, it looks like something that theoretically none of us would ever do, but you might be able to get away with, driving with it.
It looks like a coffee can.
It does, actually.
But yeah, anyway, it's fantastic.
And actually, it does have a corresponding aroma to like a coffee.
Yeah.
Some type of a frap or whatever. So
It's a
before we
frap.
continue,
Almost as though it was brewed with coffee beans.
do you
It's
have
a frap.
any more
It was brewed with coffee beans.
It's a frap.
Peruvian jokes? You want to run off?
Well, no, I'll just keep on with my story.
Well, they're also short.
It's true. It's because they live high in the mountains, so it's able to circulate their blood through their bodies quicker.
I don't believe you.
Come on.
Isn't it just a matter of perspective? Because to
evolution.
me, you're all short.
Well, for you, yeah.
We couldn't sprout any more ideas.
B-sock.
Okay, so where was I? So
B-sock.
You were in Peru.
I was in Peru. All right.
High.
So
You're high now.
You were with a llama.
You lost your breath with the alpacas.
The alpaca just broke through the door. You're caught between the two at the massage parlor and go.
And a monkey had a gun.
okay, so I ate the alpaca, I chased away the llama, and I ate the monkey brains. Then I got a massage, and the next morning was the day to go to Machu Picchu.
After the bank robbery.
Wait, I thought you did that after. Oh wait, so you went to
I
more
thought
than
the
one
llama
massage
was your
parlor?
getaway car.
Who rides an alpaca?
I know, guys, this is like getting to be like more exciting than it actually was. But yeah, so after exploring all the aforementioned ruins, the next day was Machu Picchu, and it's like really cool. Just like you like take a bus up there, and like when you go through the entrance and you like walk around the corner, you see this like huge city really that you've seen pictures of, but it's like it doesn't even seem real like when you see it in person. It is like pretty overwhelming, and you get to like explore that and kind of feel the ancient spirits, or just kind of like the history of it all. It's just like a really cool kind of like serene place. It's like up in the mountains, like it's in a valley surrounded by mountains, and it's in like what they call the cloud forest. So like you're kind of up in the clouds, really.
Is that like a Zelda level?
I thought that was a scene in Star Wars, or was that Cloud City?
Cloud City.
Cloud City.
Yeah.
No, it's nice to see like those areas that they actually do keep preserved and nobody touches it. And nobody's like, oh, let's cut this shit down and build a hotel right here.
Yeah. Well, actually, there is a hotel that's like outside of it.
Oh, well,
wow.
too late then.
But it's something. I think it's like $900 a night, or
Jesus.
$1,000 a night to stay there
Damn.
if you want. So most people just go for the day and go back down.
Mucho
Cheap bastard.
Yeah, you need the flying ship from Skies of Arcadia.
I suppose that would do the trick.
Or just any hoverboard, or hovercraft,
Yeah,
Jetpack
or helicopter.
of sorts. I don't know.
Oh, Tony's a space pirate.
So, dude, let me ask you. You said you were able to feel serene and like relaxed, looking at the views and all that. With that, what was it? really that easy, considering that there's probably like so many tourists around that would be like getting in the way and being like annoying?
Well, I think number one, it's big enough that you can get around, and you're not like really trying to like work your way through tourists like constantly. The other thing is like if anyone's planning on going, if you stay overnight in the Machu Picchu town, and you get up really early, like the first buses go out at 4:30 a.m. or so.
Jesus Christ!
And that's when we went. So you get there like right when it opens. Then you kind of have it mostly to yourself, which is what we did, and I think it's worth doing that, just getting up early and doing it. Because what happens is like you got to take a train to go up the mountain, and the people like the day trippers that come up on the train and go directly to the park start filling in every 20 minutes, and like once it gets to like midday, then it's gonna like start pouring in full of people.
Okay, so the trick is to go really early.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, what we did, you and the alpaca.
Me and
Okay, so
and
how did you
my
meet?
tour group, which may or may not have had an alpaca.
Did you meet up with the alpaca? Did you like look up in a phone book?
They're everywhere, dude. They just come up to you and
Alpacas are us.
So
they travel.
you went to
They travel in packs.
You went to backpage.peru.com and you're like, oh, alpaca for the week? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Llama me.
I can afford that.
That's it. I line them up and I say, which one of you has herpes? Okay, you. And
Well, of course they all raise their
So I
hooves.
mean, they're just gonna be standing on every street corner every night, right? Just you just gotta walk by and tell them you're not a cop or something, and they'll go.
not a co-op.
You woke up.
Fuck you! I'm not a co-op.
No more
so-
Beat-Town talk.
So 4:30 is the earliest one because the zombies that are at Machu Picchu are already, the sun's coming up, so they have to go away.
The Inca zombies, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Zombies can't be in the sunlight now?
I thought that was vampires, dude.
Well, it's a mix because they're so old. If the sun hits their skin, it would just
Dude, by
start burning.
4:30 are
And-
probably wasted already with all this good beer.
The Incas used to
From malt.
worship the sun, so like the dead ones have to hide from it or something.
They fear
Or something.
alpaca.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, so after that, the other excursion that I did was go to Nazca. And Nazca, you may be familiar with the Nazca lines.
Is that what was it Greenpeace or who messed it up?
Yeah, Greenpeace did that. They like left all their footprints next to the Nazca lines and kind of like, messed up the site of one of them, and they later had to apologize for that. But anyway, the Nazca lines are like over 2,000 years old, and they were left there by the Nazca people. And they, they're like a bunch of lines which kind of form like a astrological calendar for them, and also like maps. But in addition to those, there are like figures that they drew, which it's believed that they believe that their god like flew around above them, so they like drew these figures on the ground for their god to see. And so
That's polite.
there's a number of iconic ones, like there's a spider and a monkey and a hummingbird and different ones. And
We got spiders, monkeys, and llamas.
Spider
Come on
monkey.
down.
and when you go there, you can take a flight over them and see them.
Was it really for their flying god, or was it for the aliens? I mean, really.
It could,
Alien. Why can't it be both?
maybe.
Technicality. Alien.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you guys,
Dan's hair just grew like.
yeah, I'm doing the aliens guy meme right now with the hands up. Yeah. So, anyways, go ahead. Sorry, man. I had to interrupt.
Anyway, so.
No, I didn't, but I just wanted to.
I knew. But yeah, so anyway, that was really cool. Like, Nazca is like a desert part of Peru. So the desert like has preserved the Nazca lines, for all this time. And there's lots of other like cool archaeology kind of stuff to see there. They have like a cemetery there, or they call it a cemetery in English, but the sign in Spanish says necropolis, which is like way cooler. But they've got mummies there that you can see, which have been preserved for, all this time. And
That is pretty cool.
yeah, like they would wrap people up like in the fetal position and like stuff cotton in their eyes and mouth. And they like put them in holes in the ground, and they're still there in these holes in the ground that you can go and check out.
Wow.
Was Jimmy Hoffa there?
Unless he was Peruvian and had dreadlocks, I don't think it was. Because most of
But
them
you're
had,
not sure.
most of them had dreadlocks.
But you're not sure.
That's pretty funny. I cannot say for certain.
Okay.
There's also this big pyramid in the middle of the desert. It's not like the Egyptian pyramid. It's kind of more rounded, but they call it a pyramid. It's called Kawachi. And it's also a Nazca pyramid that they unearthed in like the 80s, or they started in the 80s and like only recently finished it like a few years ago. And it's said there's supposed to be like over 30 more pyramids in the desert that have like since been like buried in sand. But it's like a huge like Nazca city in the desert that you can see like at least one pyramid from, and it's like cool to explore that. I guess basically if, you have any interest in archaeology or like South American, ancient history, it's definitely worth checking out Nazca. So yeah, it was like a really cool trip. And I did learn one bit of trivia, which was, do you guys know there's a very famous Hollywood actor who is Peruvian that you'd never guess?
No, I'd have, like current or old?
Current.
Tony Espinosa.
No, let me try to guess, man. So, does he have like a Hispanic name?
No.
Huh.
Charlie Sheen.
Oh, they're Mexican, man.
Actually, it's Al Pacino. Al Pacino.
Dude.
So it's time for our fifth beer of the night.
And this one happens to be brought by me.
It's called Crickets.
It's Stone Vertical 12-12-12. It's the final beer in their vertical series. Should you take the bottle for me for a sec? Thank you.
Before he drinks it up.
Scroll up.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
I actually think you're still on the other one, no?
Yeah, I'm still on the other one, but
Yeah, it's
Dave's checking his notes here.
Yeah, it's a Belgian holiday ale, 9% ABV, and of course it's made by Stone Brewing in California. They change the recipe a little bit every year. It's been aging for a few years. What do you guys think of it?
Tastes sort of like anise or minty. Like, there's that note of...
But it's weird because you smell it and you have it in the aroma, but
I'm not gonna lie, man. It smells kind of funky.
you don't. I don't really taste the mint so much. In the aroma, yeah, but
This tastes totally different than when I had it fresh.
Dude, I don't know, man. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's the
I do taste the mint.
because before, like, it had that, like when you have the Christmas ales.
It tastes gingery, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
that's what it is.
Well, to me, it does taste like just like a Christmas beer.
Dude,
And I think
am
it's
not
supposed to
liking it,
because
man.
it's 12-12-12 was
No, that's what I'm saying. It had more of the Christmassy, like, what's another Christmas one I'm trying to think of? Like 2X Christmas.
No, that tastes more like a Swedish. You're thinking of
Merrymaker?
No, maybe.
No, you're thinking of like Abta 12.
Dab 12 Christmas.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe the aging process has changed some of the flavors in it, but
yeah, I do think it maybe has passed its sell by date or
yeah,
its peak date.
the Christmas tree didn't get enough water.
No, it was an amazing vertical while it lasted, but...
Yeah, I agree. I loved all the vertical series. I mean, this was really good when I first had it. I guess maybe
I've
this
had
is
other
not one
ones
to
that
age.
actually do age well. The one that really ages well is the Old Guardian.
Yes.
The Old Guardian, if you can keep it for one of my friends brought a 5-year-old bottle and it was like amazing. Like,
So we'll get to a quick round of what burns your bacon, and then we'll end up the show with we'll bring back our favorite Would You Rather game,
Oh no.
and those show how truly terrible you all are.
I'm scared.
I mean, they will show your soul, and
It will
how
eat your soul.
and how dark and dirty it is. But first, what burns your bacon? I'll start it off. For me, it's, when people write something and just the spelling is just so atrocious that you have to read it 4 times. Like what? You know, I understand that people want to get something out and they just write it, type it, spell it as quickly as they can to get it out of there. But when you have to read it like 5 and 6 times out loud, it just burns my bacon. And sometimes they're missing words. Sometimes the words are just incorrectly spelled. I understand everyone makes a mistake, and I'm not that great of a speller. No, I'm kidding. I'm great. Let's not kid
You're
ourselves.
only a librarian.
You know how to hit F7.
But I'm telling you, it's the just read before you hit send or you type something. Just read what you wrote and just come on, just take a look at it. Oh, it burns my bacon.
Me too, man. Me too.
What about you, Dan? What burns your bacon?
Itchy T-shirt tags. Like, Michael
Jordan. Yeah, Michael Jordan already took care of that.
Exactly. Michael Jordan had the same problem, and then he's like, Haynes, make me shirts without tags in them. And they're like, okay.
And they're like, no way. We cannot do that, Michael Jordan. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
And he's like, no, you guys gotta do it. And then they said, okay, but only if you grow a Hitler mustache and be in our commercials.
This is
And he
actually
said,
the process.
done and done.
And, it happened.
Why do you need tags?
I guess they need to teach people who have never done laundry before in their lives.
Is there like a law that you need to have tags on your shirt?
I don't think so, because there are shirts without tags on them. But then they'll still have the same shit, like, printed. So I don't know, man. I'm not really sure if there has to be something, like, even if it's printed on the fabric or on a little paper tag, but, dude, it's so fucking annoying to have those things, like, because if you cut it, it's still gonna have a little bit there that's gonna, like, scratch you.
And that really scratches you.
And that's even worse.
Yeah, that's worse.
And if you don't cut
But
it
if
correctly,
you don't, if it comes up and then you look like a fucking asshole, if you have that little tag popping up above, like, your collar. So I'm like, yeah, that burns my bacon.
And if you don't cut it correctly, you just have a hole on the back of your shirt.
Exactly.
Have you cut a lot of tags off, Jose?
Yeah, my dad always used to cut the tags off his shirt, and sometimes he would miss, and he would have a hole on the back of his shirt.
Also known
But
as
he
an
did-
air vent.
Yes, exactly, but he didn't give a shit because at least he didn't have the fucking tag.
Yeah,
Do you think that gave rise to the song "I'm gonna pop some tags, $100 in my pocket"?
I think what he actually meant was that he was gonna rip the thing off so
He's
that he
gonna
could,
buy it.
like,
Yeah, so you
He's gonna
can
pop
steal
the
it.
tag.
he was gonna steal it, like, he was gonna take the tag off
Yeah.
so he could walk out with it.
Yeah.
The beeping tag, not the...
Yeah. I don't know, though.
Do you think when he gets to clothes home and he goes to take the tag off the back of the shirt, he says the same thing?
No, I think he
I
just
don't
takes
know.
the clothes
The-
with the tag.
the
beeping-
Macklemore?
No, the beeping tag still on.
I don't know, man. We'll have to,
We'll have to tweet to Macklemore
Macklemore.
and find out the meaning of that lyric.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's too busy right now, right?
Nope.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Jose, what burns your bacon?
What burns my bacon is dads that, or parents that take their kids to, sports and they continuously criticize their kids. Like, if, like, you take your kids to baseball and it's like, you're like, just like, oh, what the hell are you doing? Oh, you should, like, run better or run faster. And then they're over criticizing when it's like, what they're doing, it's pretty, like, physically intensive. And they're just, like, hurting the kid's feelings.
For a child.
Yeah, for a child, like, they're being overly, like, exertive on them on how they should be performing rather than, like, rather than having their back. I recently saw this because, I do martial arts with my brother, and, like, there was this one parent, before art starts class, there's, like, one parent's like, no, you have to do this, you have to, like, dodge the guy, and I'm like, no, fuck you, why don't you get on the mat, too, and, you do art class, because it's not that easy. So that just, like, burns my bacon, because it, like, they don't understand, like, what the kid is going through, and...
Okay, JJ,
Yeah.
what burns your bacon?
This week's burns my bacon is hesitation. Yeah, exactly.
Hurry up.
Yeah, no, it's more self things, like,
Especially on the road, man.
Yeah, as they say, he who hesitates is lost forever. And just certain situations there's something you want to do or something you want to do, things you need to do, whatever the case may be, driving, whatever, do it. Don't fucking hesitate. Do what you need to do.
Yet again, another burns my bacon that has to do with Miami driving.
Yeah, no, well, it wasn't so much that. It's just more self-improvement.
Like going with your instinct.
Yeah, like if there's someone you want to talk to them. Don't fucking wait because then you miss the train. That kind of shit. So, so that's, improve yourself, be better, be a better person. Don't discredit yourself, believe in yourself, and it makes you a better person, gets you through a day. So,
because you're making the person behind you really annoyed. When
that
you're
too.
hesitating.
And,
It's like,
and when you do that, that's when it,
wait, do I want cash or credit or, fuck, what do I want to pay with? Yeah. No, fuck you, just pay.
Let me bust out my checkbook.
yeah, and let me see how many pennies I have in my bag. Don't pay with pennies, people. That also burns my bacon.
Is penny, so a penny's not, considered legal tender?
You know what? That should be another one for another day. But yeah, so pennies, throw them out. But overall, so anyway, hesitation. That burns my bacon!
By the way, it's funny that you say burns my bacon like that because all this shit that you were saying kind of reminded me of like a Hatebreed song. And, because they're all about
believe in yourself.
positive,
Yeah.
for those that may not know, they are a hardcore band, that does use some screaming vocals sometimes, like 99.9% of it. Yeah. So, I don't know, just some of the stuff that JJ was saying kind of reminded me of kind of their theme of a lot of their songs,
Yeah.
persevere and like
Yeah,
overcome
exactly.
and
The guy
all
had,
that shit.
a lot of them had,
Never falter.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
because they had like really shitty lives growing up or went through a lot of, terrible shit in their life. And the idea is to overcome and persevere and rise above it. Don't give a shit what anyone else thinks about you and just do it. Let's go.
Tony, what burns your bacon?
Well, I'll tell you. What burns my bacon this week is when, hypothetically, one's buddies, when one person is like away on vacation, just decide that would be an opportune time to drink a hypothetical beer, such as sherry barrel-aged Markel Zukov, for example.
Markle or Marshall?
Merkel. I believe he meant Merkel. Like,
Michael.
yeah.
Like the German chancellor, correct.
Michael Zukov.
I'm just going to pick a beer at random,
Yeah,
sherry barrel-aged Marshall Zukov. That,
It's widely
hypothetically,
available.
I would have liked to have some. Or hypothetical person might wanted to have had. And instead, they didn't wait.
It's okay, man. You had shaman.
Hypothetically, you could have also not gone to Peru.
But don't you have a bottle of that shit too from Catador?
But Marshall Zukov wasn't good to give him a massage or a happy ending for that matter.
Or an alpaca.
So yeah, I just wanted to say that when clearly it's something that could have waited one more week, and I would, or hypothetically, some person may have come back from their trip and could have also enjoyed.
Well, it was also hypothetically where maybe your buddies were in a different studio, and hypothetically that the studio that we were at, the host didn't. They said, hey, let me just grab whatever I have. And maybe that person, maybe it was Dan.
Hypothetically.
Maybe he just hypothetically had a name that was spelled the same as mine and pronounced the same as well.
Yeah, come on. There's a hurricane named Dan right now. It's a common name.
No, it's pronounced.
Danny,
It's
actually.
Danny.
Yeah, I gotta go to Home Depot and buy some ties so I can tie my shit down.
You guys couldn't have waited one more week to enjoy the fucking beer with me, assholes. You guys are dicks. And that burns my bacon.
It was a 5.
It was pretty epic.
Yeah, it was a 5. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it on your behalf.
Yeah.
It's probably the best.
So let me ask
I mean, we
you
even
guys,
said your name on the thing.
I know. I did hear you guys shout me out.
So let me ask you guys. We're going to Would You Rather now. And this question will it's a hard question, I think.
Boing.
How hard is it?
Boing.
It'll show what kind of a person you are.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Would you rather be able? Would you? I feel bad even saying this.
Do it.
Would you rather be able to save the lives of 100,000 starving African children that you will never meet, or have a real working lightsaber? Because that shit would be badass. And you'd have the only one in the world.
Oh, dude.
And everybody would know that you had it, and no one would fuck with you.
I know the answer to this one.
Go ahead and give it to us.
Obviously, a lightsaber. With the lightsaber, I can actually save probably.
100,000 starving African children? Is that going to
Most
get you
likely.
across the ocean?
Yes. Well, I can get across the ocean with an airplane. I don't need.
You have an airplane at your disposal.
Yeah, it's called American Airlines.
Wait. You own American Airlines? What are you doing
No.
here hanging with us?
No, but
Beer?
no, but you can liberate those starving children. But
I don't think you. No. Then there's this caveat. You cannot. You can have one or the other. One cannot get you the other.
Oh, okay, never mind. I guess the starving children.
So wait, just to clarify things, are these? So if you choose the lightsaber, are 100,000 African kids just going to die because of this?
Well, they're going to die anyway, so yes.
Or
That will not be the cause of their death, you having the lightsaber, but they're going to die anyway.
they're just going to die whenever
Because
they
no
would
one
have
else is going to
normally
help them.
died. But if you choose the children that's like ones that were going to die like
Sir, you gonna-
tomorrow, then they would be saved.
Yes.
Lightsaber.
So we all know that Tony's a terrible person. JJ.
No, it's number one. There's too many people in the world.
Yeah, because, Africa's so totally overpopulated. That's
It
where
is.
the issue is. Not, China, Russia,
India.
Europe, America,
India's
India.
got more people than.
But, Africa's the issue there.
Maybe I'll just take my lightsaber
Africa's
and
now number one.
move people from China to Africa. Be like, I'll cut you if you don't move there. They need more people now.
Oh, you're a terrible person.
So,
Okay.
He can
Clearly-
cut it in half.
Clearly, I'm a Sith.
Okay, JJ.
All right.
You know what? No, I don't think I actually would choose that. You know why? Because if I'm the only person with a lightsaber, then people are going to try to kill me or fuck with me because I have it.
Maybe.
And
That's-
then I really would be forced to kill people in my defense,
Maybe.
which I don't want to do.
You would have
Maybe.
2,000 angry parents that you couldn't feed my children because you chose a fucking lightsaber.
Always for defense, never for attack.
Yeah. So against my better judgment, I'd have to go with the African kids saving them.
So Tony's a nice guy. JJ.
Stole my answer. I would, the African kids, just because if I had the lightsaber, then everyone in the world would try and kick my ass.
Jose, which would you rather have?
Well, with the certain circumstances, yes, I would rather have the kids than 200,000 angry parents that I chose the lightsaber.
Yeah, and they make some
it's
nice replicas
100,000.
now.
And it's not guaranteed. It wouldn't be 200,000 because some of them might have multiple kids. So it would be under 200,000.
Yeah, but it would be up there and, I would be commonly known as, would I be commonly known as the dick that chose a lightsaber over the starving kids?
I don't know. That's for you to say.
That's what makes the difference here, I think.
Yeah, I think.
Because if people never knew that I had the chance to save them, then fuck it. I mean, but if they knew he chose this instead of that, everybody
yes.
go kill him.
Then yes.
Then
You had to go.
Then Dan, people might think that you were a dick.
I know what
Yes.
the fuck. How would
Yes.
they ever come up with that?
Yes, Jose.
I mean, technically,
You-
can we
you-
ju-
you had
can
the
we
option.
right now save 100,000?
You had the
starving
option
kids?
to inspire the leaders of Africa, or to fly to Africa and inspire them, or the option to fly to the Lucas Ranch and pick up your lightsaber.
Yeah, I would rather go to Africa.
Dan.
I'd have to save the children. Just because. No, really though. Yeah, man. I mean, I can't say, hey, for this one thing, I'm gonna let 100,000 kids die. Like, that sucks. So no, I would save the kids.
Yeah. I mean, the only way it would work is if I could
If
use...
it was only like 1,000, maybe. But 100,000, no.
Yeah, like if it's just to have the material
I'll take
item...
the lightsaber.
Yeah, to me, if you just had the material item, but if you can go and do stuff with it and promote yourself to raise money to
Yeah,
help...
exactly.
or,
That's
like,
what I was
go-
thinking.
Well, those 100,000 kids are dead. You take that lightsaber, those 100,000 kids are dead.
Yeah, but for the greater
Jedi
good...
Bono.
Yeah, but for the greater good, you could go to the thing that's, like, oh, you're not giving them food, and, like, I have a lightsaber, fucking, if you don't feed these next million that are gonna die, you're next.
Bono will be your apprentice.
I'll save 100,000 people one day, and then the next day, 100 more thousand people are gonna die. So, like,
I'm taking the
I
lightsaber.
don't know.
He just wants to have the lightsaber.
Okay,
they
so you
sell
took
nice
the lightsaber.
replicas.
What color is it?
Oh yeah, what color?
Oh, is there any doubt in your mind what color my lightsaber would
No,
be?
his is red.
Is there any doubt in that?
Purple?
No, there's no doubt. It would be, purple would be pretty badass, but it would
Mace
be
Windu?
red. It would be red. And undoubtedly, it would be red.
Would it be the traditional?
I think
or-
if that's the choice you made to get the lightsaber, then it's pretty much guaranteed to be red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sith.
And it would have in the hilt of the lightsaber would have the Adidas stripe for the Manchester United jersey.
Would it just be a single saber, or would it be the Darth Maul, the dual-sided?
No, it'd be curved like Count Dooku or Darth Tyrannus.
Nice. Okay.
Or it might be just a regular one, kind of like how.
So like the limp dick handle. Is that kind of?
Poor Count Dooku.
Yeah, I call it the Tony. Ugh.
Yeah.
That was
It's your lightsaber, motherfucker.
So let me ask you another one then. Another would you rather?
No
Would
dead
you-
kids, please.
No, this one's a little bit lighter. Would you rather have Cheetos fingers the rest of your life, or have a popcorn kernel stuck in the back of your tooth the rest of your life?
Oh, this one's fucking
This
easy.
is easy, man. Cheeto fingers. all
Cheeto
day.
fingers. I could suck on my fingers all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your fingers gonna be touching everything else, and you don't want to put it in your
I don't give a
mouth.
shit. I can have Cheeto fingers.
Yeah. Cheeto fingers all day for me.
Dude,
too.
I could be like having Cheetos all day.
Yeah, Cheeto fingers.
You know that's.
No one would ever want to shake your hand and be like, it's fucking Cheeto
They're both
fingers
really
over there."
annoying, but
Okay,
I
good,
fucking
don't
hate
touch
Cheeto.
me.
I hate
I'm too
Cheeto
busy
fingers.
eating
I'll
my
go with the kernel.
Cheetos off my fingers.
like, how would you explain it to somebody? Like, why do you always have Cheeto dust on your your fingers?
You think Sonia would be appreciative of this? You know, you're trying to do stuff. For Cheetos.
Orange vagina.
Enhanced flavor.
It's like the Doritos roulette, but
It's like the Dorito taco.
Dangerously cheesy.
Oh man!
It ain't easy being cheesy.
cheesy, dangerous.
What about you, Tony?
I would go for the kernel. I hate Cheeto fingers. That would be like the. This is what if I controlled fucking NASA or science. This is what I would have them working on. Make goddamn Cheetos that don't turn your fingers orange. Like we can put,
They're called cheesy puffs.
No, they do the same thing to your fingers.
No,
They do.
not the brand that I buy.
What brand is this? Like magic non-cheesy finger?
I'm not going to
brand?
fucking tell you so you can buy
fuck yourself.
my cheesy puffs.
Thanks, Bill Burr.
You're lying. But yes.
Uh-huh.
That's a dollar store one where
This is
they
what I
don't
think. We
actually
can-
put enough cheese powder on
I
it.
thought
we
you
can
were
shoot
gonna
we
ask
can
it.
shoot a satellite past Pluto, but we can't make Cheetos that don't turn your freaking fingers orange. This burns my bacon.
Hashtag first world problems.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask about the popcorn kernels that don't get stuck behind your throat.
Oh,
That would be nice, too.
That sucks. I almost threw up one time from that.
Popcorn in general is kind of shitty. I don't know.
It gets stuck in your gums. I hit it.
It is painful.
A lot of things get stuck in your gums.
Kernel stuck in your teeth? I just saluted.
Cheesy.
I doubled down on him.
So let me ask you guys. On that note,
Is that like a Cleveland steamer?
so on that note, let me ask you guys, what was your favorite beer of the night?
Four beans.
Four beans.
Yeah, 4 beans.
4 beans.
I'd have to say the Vertical 12.
Really?
Minty, a little bit licorice.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of licorice in beer. Or anise. You know, I
Keep
can't
in the
say,
Jaeger.
I guess, yeah. Like, I can't think of any beer that has anise or licorice. That
The Bells, the stout.
the Kalamazoo Stout. I mean, it's not even my favorite though. Like, I'd much rather have
Expedition.
Expedition or, of course, Black Note.
So let me ask you guys. So before we end the night, just want to say, as always, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find how we rank these beers on Untapped. Any questions you want to send to us, email them to us at beerbrosbs@gmail.com or tweet them to us at beerbrosbs, at beerbrosbs, not and. As always, you can find everything on our website. You can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, and
Podcast Addict.
don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. So as always, good night, guys. I'm Dave, the Big Librarian. You can find me contributing on toughnarl.com. And don't forget, this Saturday we have our second anniversary. We're having a show at Church Hills Pub in Miami, headlining No Fraud.
Yeah, and I'm Dan, and you can find me at Dan12Con.
I'm Jose. You can find me on Twitter at Jose_JR.
JJ the Male Chef on all social media and Xbox Live.
And I'm Tony. No social media accounts.
All right, good night, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.